Hello.
It's like we haven't been alive all this time and now we're alive.
We are. This is Cinnamon.
Hi.
She's my better half, the old ball and chain.
Oh, thanks for saying
Not a ball and chain. Cinnamon's never been on Instagram Live before.
No, and I honestly don't feel like I'm missing out on much, but I figured I'd try this. Let's do this.
But we are here today we are in very far apart chairs. We do like each other.
Yeah, but it's not.
They rotate.
Yes.
So
and if you put your fingers there, which I have several times already, they'll get squished.
yes, they do. Yeah. So we're here because we are going to do a planning session, planning for 2022.
Oh my gosh.
Who we got here?
2022.
Melissa Anderson, hello.
Oh, look at Melissa. She has
Yeah.
a baby now. That's so awesome. She can still do this.
Yes, awesome. This is how it works. People just jump on here and you see them live.
Okay.
And
Weird.
We could save it for later, hopefully, for people who are not here.
Do you have to do it now? Like, do you know if you're going to save it for later?
I hope so. We'll figure it out. All right. So hopefully you guys got your Clever Fox planners. We did.
Yes, we have.
Cinnamon, what's your color for the year?
I got the hot side of a flame yellow.
Okay. What's your intention for 2022 with that color?
To come out like flame.
Yeah.
Set it on fire.
Those of you who don't know Cinnamon, she is a firefighter. She loves some fire.
I mean, traditionally you would say a firefighter would put out the fire.
True.
But
you get excited when you see them.
Yes.
You're like, ooh,
I
that'd
mean,
be a good one.
I hate to bring it back to this again, but I am a Leo.
Oh, God. She is a Leo, everybody. She's a Leo. She's got big hair, like red hair usually. She is a lion.
All my Leo compatriots know exactly what that means.
And I have fire red.
Nice.
The reason being is this last year, 2021, I had sky blue. That was after I had an orange one for 2020. Thinking, oh, orange is kind of fresh and new, and then 2020 hit, and now I think of it as like, warning, warning, orange.
Stay away from the orange.
Still orange. So I see the 2020, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that was a hard year. So my 2021 intention was, okay, it was hard. Now let's, be easy on ourselves, take some self-care. Let's do some sky blue, warm, nice, cool colors. And it was a nice year.
Yeah.
But
So you're to be kind to yourself.
time for some fire red, be bold, be brave.
Thank you. That's what I'm
2022.
saying.
That's what Cinnamon's doing
Yeah,
too.
you're coming out of a flame off of COVID 2019,
Yeah.
2020, 2021.
That's right.
Hopefully it's going to end on December
I hope
31st.
so. God.
January 1st is going to be a whole new year.
Yeah, that's how
No more
That's how
COVID.
bad things happen. Like it's like, oh, it's January 1st. It's time to not have
Oh,
bad
sure,
things
sure,
anymore.
yeah.
Good things need to come.
That's exactly what happened with the whole Y2K thing. All the bad stuff happened up until that point. I mean, everything normal happened up to that point. And then at the year 2000, everything changed.
Yeah, exactly. It was just like everything new. Okay, it's 2000, time to turn the bat off.
Whoever started the world implemented our date time system, and they just go right after
It was
that.
the Mayans. I'm sure of it.
Sure.
I'm sure of it.
Wasn't it their calendar that ended?
2020. No, 2012.
They're like, the world's going to end in 2012.
It's true. That's when it was all good, and then it went to hell. All right, so those of you who do not have Clever Fox planners, that's okay. You can still do some planning, but these are what I love to use for my clients. And the reason is because it combines planning with some psychological tools that I know work with changing mindsets, changing beliefs, and starting with little mini habits. In order to change your brain and change the psychology of your brain, you have to change the way that it processes and change the neurons and the neural pathways in between. And that takes a little bit of behavioral changes, little by little. You can't do it all at once. And so generally what I'll see is people will set goals and intentions that are too big, and then by the end of January, they've fallen off the wagon, and then they just kind of give up on their New Year's goals. So we're going to learn today how to set tiny little goals that they're nearly impossible to not do. You'll feel really good about doing those and build confidence in yourself. And that's really what it's about, is building confidence in yourself and wanting to improve 1% every day, so that by the end of the year, you'll be 365% better.
So when did you start these Fox planners or planning in general?
I did this planning in 2019. So I have 4 of them now. I have...
Your first year was 2019.
2019. And in my first year, I did this little tiny Clever Fox planner, which is fine if you have... Your first one is this hardback one, because it doesn't have a monthly review on it, and it's a little simpler, and it's nice to start. It just gets you in the habit of checking a planner, and it's small enough you can bring it around. So my first year, it really wasn't filled out as much as it is now. And I upgraded this last year to the big one, which is the Pro or the Premium. Cinnamon is starting out strong with the Pro.
So much pressure.
Yeah. And some people can feel very overwhelmed by these at first when they open them up. So hopefully by the end of today, I'll help you not feel so overwhelmed and keep it super, super simple to start the year. Through the year, probably around month 6, you'll feel like you want to add more in here. But usually for the first 3 months, just building those habits, it takes a little while to build habits. So keep it super simple in here. And really, there's only 3 parts to it that you really have to get in a habit of doing.
It's like they say, KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Although maybe it's keep it simple, silly. You silly thing.
Yeah.
What's the thing you feel like has changed the most with using these?
Probably that if I fail, that I could just pick up my stuff right back up and keep going. Because before I would fail and I'd be like, I failed. But I've learned to reset my goals and my intentions every week, knowing what I did, what was too hard, and then dumbing it down. That's probably what's helped the most. Is not like keeping goals that I don't keep, like dumbing them down further. When I don't do something, it means that my goal was too big.
So it gives you structure, and if you lose your way for a minute, you just pick back up with the structure. You don't lose it for good. Okay.
Case in point, the push-up challenge that Cinnamon has started.
Ooh, child.
Yeah, and it's pretty fun. So push-up challenge this year was
pretty fun.
It was like probably the best thing I've ever done, because it taught me how to build up some... Well, first of all, I didn't ever believe I could do a push-up when I first started. I never thought I could do 52 push-ups even. But even like 5 push-ups was hard for me. And so number 1, it's unlocked my belief system. It's unlocked the ability for me to think that I can do something. And then 2, I broke my hand this year. And so I couldn't do my push-ups for, 2 months? Yeah. And I was pretty bummed about it, because I had built up my tolerance for so many months. And I was like so excited I did it. Broke my hand. And then once I got the green light to do it again, I just jumped right back into it as though I'd never missed. And building that up over time, it just made me believe that I could just pick it up and do it again. So now I want to do it again next year, except for I'm changing it a little bit.
Did breaking your hand change anything else for you? Your view on bouncy houses or anything?
Yeah, I'm not going to step in bouncy houses anymore. My days are over.
Okay.
Last time I was on a bouncy house, I tore my rotator cuff. It was a blob, those ones you jump on and fly people off of them.
And this time it was
the bouncy house, broke my hand. I don't even know how that happens, but it did.
Maybe go in gracefully.
I told myself when I walked on it, I was like, Michelle, you're 40 this year. You got to be careful.
You raced into that thing trying to beat the kids.
I know, but I was thinking my legs or something, I didn't think about my pinky.
You did not walk into it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I just don't know how to
You went in with steam.
Just got caught. I don't know.
It lulled you into a false... All those little kids running around, you're like, oh, this is easy.
Yeah.
Get out of the way, kids. Like somebody knows what they're doing in here.
And then I just slunk down. I think I broke my hand. Oh, so bad.
Scar.
Yeah, I have a scar right there. It's my 2021 scar. All right, let's get to it.
Okay, yes.
So, those of you who have it, you have a Clever Fox planner or not, at least write down some goals with us today, and then maybe get the Clever Fox planner later. But what I would recommend also getting are some erasable pens. Cinnamon's going to be using these today. The reason why I use erasable pens is, 1, they're really colorful and fun, so it makes you want to keep doing stuff in there. But 2, if you have any sense of perfectionism in you, that you feel like this should be perfect, my planner should be perfect, Erasable pens and pencils are great for you because you can just write that thoughts down, and if it looks ugly or doesn't sound right, you can go back and erase it and fix it later. And they're just fun. One little word to the wise, though, I found out this year that if you put anything hot on these, like a hot coffee mug on your planner, then it totally wipes away all the ink.
All the work you've done all year.
So don't put anything hot on your planner, and also don't leave it in the sun because all of the work will go away. I guess that's good because you can reuse a planner next year.
I don't know.
I don't know.
All that hard work is just erased.
Choose your weapon, Cinnamon. What would you like to use?
Red hot bread.
Red hot? Yeah.
Can I tell you a story?
Yeah.
So
You know you're telling everybody a story.
Oh, that's
Good.
very nosy of you. When I was younger, my mom used to use Franklin planners.
Uh-huh.
And the Franklin Covey, they have such a good breadth of planners and stuff to go in them and so much fun stuff. And I would use that planner, and I loved it. I loved going all the way down to the minute. This is what I'm going to do in the next 5 minutes, which was a little obsessive and weird, but I would only write in that thing with a pencil. So I love that you use erasable ink because now I feel like I'm an adult and writing in a pen.
You are an adult.
But I can erase it.
You are an adult.
Thank you.
Yes. You're just making big steps
Yes.
here. Oh, my mom sent me these. I love pickleball.
That says I love a wiffle ball, just to be honest with you.
It's true. But it stands for pickleball. It is one of the things that we've picked up in 2021 and we will carry for the rest of our lives. Pickleball.
Oh, wow. That's intense.
Oh, I am.
I know you are.
All right. So on the first page, I wrote 2022 because now I have 4 of them and I got to keep them separate. So, in the beginning, you put your name, phone, email, that stuff you can do right now or later. Doesn't matter. But getting through, so as she's doing that, I'll just explain how this works. There's a lot of ribbons and stuff that Clever Fox puts in here for a reason at the top of your planner. Let's see if I can pull them out. A lot of little ribbons here. The reason is because there's lots of different sections, and I'll go over the sections that are the most important. The 2 most important are the monthly, which is, if there's 12 months in here, you want to put 1 ribbon in the monthly. So the first month, it starts with a calendar here, and you put 1 ribbon right there because that will be January.
So all the months are collected together in the beginning?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And then you go to the first week, which is a little further down the road. And it has, let's see. This is a fill in the blank kind of a calendar. There's no dates in it or anything. So over here you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And that's the first week. You want to put another ribbon here. Because those really are the only 2 sections that you're going to use in January. The rest of it has really cool questions. In the very beginning of the book, it has, what is the vision for the life I want?
Is this the right
It's
one?
heavy. Yep.
This is the week.
Mm-hmm. The first week. So, what is the vision of the life I want? Sin, do you even know that answer?
The vision of the life you want?
Uh-huh. For you, not me.
Oh, for me. No, I have not thought about that.
It's a big question. People will freeze on that question. So just pass it. It's not something you have to fill out right now. It's something that will come to you as you go through the year. The next question are, what are my core values? When I work with clients, usually what I'll have them do is take a strengths quiz. It's you can go to viacharacter.org, V as in Victor, IA, character.org, and you can take a strengths quiz and get your top 20, it's the same 24 strengths for everyone, but it'll rank it in order.
We did that.
Cinnamon and I have taken it a few times. We always get humor in our top 5.
Always.
Because
we can't stop it.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if that means that you're funny or if it means you recognize a joke.
We love humor. It's just who we are.
It's true.
We will turn anything into something funny. So what are my core values? Humor. I know Cinnamon has love in there. Do you remember another one you have in the top 5?
I think I had humor twice.
Maybe you had loyalty, I think was
yes, for sure.
I have social awareness, curiosity, hope, and
I like the hope.
Zest is up there.
Yes.
So I put those core values in there. just to remind myself, like, even when I'm having a bad day, I still am those top 5 qualities. Same thing for Cinnamon.
Do you pick the ones that you identify with most, or the ones that they tell you are your top 5?
I take the top 5, and we've taken them a couple times, or at least I have. I've taken it a few times, and the results are different every time. So you could take it via character.org and see what yours are, and just stick them in there, so that you at least have some guide. I always tell people, you want to like kind of set up your life that you're going towards a guiding star, not a distant shore. And what that means is when you reach a distant shore, you're done, and you're looking for the next shore to go to. What you want to guide your life by is a distant star. The reason why is you're never going to reach it. It's just something you're always guided by. So these core values are something that you're always guided by. You'll never fully reach them or never fully attain like 100% value of them, but it's something to live your life by. So humor, we live our life by humor. Of course, you can have too much of something. So there's too much.
I mean, not humor though.
There's some too much humor sometimes. You should not laugh at funerals unless it's,
I mean, I'm good there. I cry at everyone's funeral.
No,
Even hearing about other people's funeral.
Yeah.
What? Somebody died in your life?
Cinnamon does not bring humor to funerals. Another one question on here is, what am I passionate about? What brings me joy? Some people who are feeling anxious or depressed in their life, they're coming to me for therapy. Bringing joy is something very difficult to answer. What brings me joy? And
chocolate, ice cream.
That's kind of what this planner does, is it forces you to think about stuff, and it forces you to inject some of these positive answers when you're feeling anxious and depressed, you don't think about that stuff.
Yeah, and I think it is good to think about what brings you joy in the sense of not necessarily vices, but something that's more like a hobby or productive, like knitting or that's really all I come up with.
Pickleball.
Pickleballing.
I love pickleball. It brings me so much joy. Passionate. What's my life purpose? What's my mission? These are all very heavy, heavy questions. I'm grateful for my affirmations, things I need to remind myself. Great things to write in, but not necessary for your first time doing this.
Wait, what?
You don't have to do all this.
We're not going to fill this stuff out right now?
No, we're not.
Oh, thank God.
It's too much, right? Aren't you overwhelmed?
No, it does feel like too much.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes when I get a planner, I get stuck in this, and then I start moving on, and all I can do is think about what I haven't finished yet.
Yeah. This might help because you don't have to do that.
Well, wouldn't you just go the whole year without?
No, because sometimes you might, think back on when you do some of these things. It'll say, what are your lessons learned and stuff like that. And you might go back and write little notes in
here and there.
Mm-hmm. But this isn't the intent of the planner, is not this first page. It's just something to be aware of and have.
Okay. So the intent is not to be overwhelmed by the impressive, detailed questions.
It's wonderful questions to ask yourself. But for your first time, I wouldn't worry about it. The next page has a vision board.
Did you read this? What or who should I avoid in order to live a happier, more fulfilling life?
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Do you know what that is?
Do I know what or who?
What you should avoid?
Not chocolate, not ice cream.
I usually put in there like doom scrolling on my phone.
Oh yeah.
Reading news that doesn't help me in any way. Watching TV shows.
Social media.
Sometimes we're on social media right now. It's helpful.
Is it?
To some people.
Okay.
Hopefully, use it to your benefit. You're following quality people. All right. So turn the page. We're off that one.
Did we cover this side?
Mm-hmm. I'm grateful. My affirmations and things to remind myself.
Okay.
Vision board. I'm not a vision board person.
Space.
It's just a blank space. You can basically just be redundant and write everything that you just did on your first page if you'd want to, or you could put a collage. Some of my art therapists like this page because they can put like drawings and collages of things that they want to see this year. But I'm not necessarily a vision board person. I don't know if Cinnamon would want to spend time doing that.
I just look at a lot of blank space and how am I going to fill it?
Yeah, it's overwhelming.
But I will tell you this. My sister one time told me that she had this teacher that they would do, like if you're going to go write a story or something, like for me, I just write down chunks of ideas. But she said that she would start with like a tree, like just do something in the middle and then just branch off of it. And I feel like that might be a good place for something. Mm-hmm. A good place for that would be somewhere in here.
Mm-hmm. Yep. When you want to think about that. The next page is also very overwhelming. It says, what do I want my life to be like? And then it has 1, 5, 10, and 20 years from now. This is also overwhelming. This will come with time. Like I said, this is the big pro version of this planner. The smaller planner doesn't have this stuff, so it's not as overwhelming. But the thing to think about in this is something that you're going to see in every month are these categories: health and fitness, business and career, family and friends, romance and relationships, finance, personal development, fun and recreation, and spiritual. Those 8 things we're going to see over and over and over in the weekly and the monthly things. So you're going to get used to seeing and hearing those.
Okay.
But again, you don't have to do this right now. You could do that when you want to have a day of self-awareness and self-stuff.
I like that you fill that out, though, with a erasable pen.
Mm-hmm. The next page has a 1-year goal thing with the same categories. So, your top goal in your health and fitness, your top goal in your business and career, and why do I want it? I love that. Why do I want it? You always want to set yourself up with a strong why list. If you don't have a strong why list, then when you run into obstacles, which you will, so let's say you want to lose 30 pounds, what's your why for losing 30 pounds? Well, I want to feel more confident. I want to fit in my clothes. I want to, eat healthier foods to make myself feel more energetic. Those are strong whys. So when you run into an obstacle, like you go to a party with really good food, if you have that why list in your head, you're going to more often than not fall victim to those obstacles. But if you don't have a why, then you're going to fail.
I like that because you're setting yourself up for success. You think ahead of time, how do I want to handle the situation? Then you pack Ziploc baggies. You go to that party, stick the delicious food in there, and you take it home.
Cinnamon does. That's one of her personal development areas.
That's how I develop.
Yes, that's how you develop.
Yes, thank you.
You developed there. All right, moving on. You can fill that out. That's also really great stuff. But we're not focused on that in setting New Year's goals. You can do that, like maybe January 1st, you set up all these 1-year goals. That would be nice for you to do, and you can revisit them as you go throughout the year. But now we're getting into the big fat part of the book, which is every 3 months it has my 3-month goals. So it starts off, so you can do this. You want to think in 3-month increments. You want to chunk your goals down to very small goals. That's why I like this book, because it makes you chunk everything down to very, very small things. If you think about the full year, like we just did, we did the 1 year, 5 year, 10 year, 20 thing. Your brain immediately gets too overwhelmed, and it's like, I can't. It's like a malfunctioning robot, cannot compute. So then it breaks it down to my 3-month goals. You have 4 of those this year. And it says goal number 1, why do I want it? Goal number 2, why do I want it? Goal number 3, why do I want it? And then you write those down. But we don't have to do that right now either.
All right.
Don't worry. So now we're into our first ribbon. The first ribbon was on the first month. And the first month, this is where we're going to start. We're going to set January goals today.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
So we're on the first month of month and year. At the top, you could put January 2022. And Cinnamon's writing that out so she can see it. Then you would fill in all the dates. I don't remember what day January 1st starts on. I think maybe Sunday. I want to say Sunday.
Because if you're saying January 1st starts
January
on
1st, maybe it starts on Monday.
I'm going to tell you right now. Saturday.
Saturday. Okay, so then you would start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You'd write all those in. And you can do that now or later. But at the bottom, it says this month's goals and things I will do this month to make it great. This month's goals. So this is what we're going to set up here. And I like to start with the 6 fundamentals, my fundies, I call them. If I don't ever know like where to start on my goals, I start with my fundamentals. And the basic 3 are eat, sleep, move. So if you go back to those categories, health and fitness, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Health and fitness is probably my number 1 thing, because if you don't have good health and fitness, you're not going to have good energy. And if you don't have good energy, you're not going to be able to do any of your goals throughout the year. So for me, my energy goals are my priority. If I don't have good energy, then I'm not going to do any of my goals. And in order to have good energy, you got to eat, sleep, move. So I start with eat, sleep, move goals. And you want to start with a baseline, kind of like think of this like science project. we want to have baseline data. So in week 1 of January, we're not changing much. Week 1 of January is going to basically be a baseline data week. And every week after that, you're going to incrementally improve by 1%. So we'll start with January goals of eat, sleep, move. Let's start with sleeping. Sin, what do you feel is your sleeping habit like? Like what time do you normally go to bed? What time do you wake up?
If I'm at work, whenever. When I'm at home, I usually go to bed around 9 and I wake up around 5:30.
So I know you try to get 8 to 9 hours of sleep at least.
Yeah. I love 10 to 11. Yeah. 12 is optimal. 13 is probably pretty good.
Crazy. But the studies show that 8 to 9 hours of sleep is what your brain needs in order to function optimally.
7. They say 7 to 8. Most people are 7 to 8.
7 to 8?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love 9.
8 to 9 is what you need. So that means you need to go to bed 9 to 10 hours. You need to be in bed for 9 to 10 hours because it takes you a little while to go to sleep.
Yeah, thank you.
You wake up in your sleep cycles. You don't have a full 8-9 hours of sleep. So you need to really be in bed for 9 to 10. Now, if you are only sleeping 6 hours a night, January 1st, I told you to do 8 to 9 hours of sleep. You're not going to do it. So take a baseline. Cinnamon sleeps already 8 to 9 hours when she's at home. I try to as well.
Yeah.
But some of my clients go to bed at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning because they're doing things like, that's their time they get to do stuff like play on their phone and stuff. So if I told them, hey, you need to go to bed at 9, they're going to be like really resistant to it. They're not going to want to do it, even though they know that sleep is probably the number one most important thing for their brain to have the best energy the next day. And I always say that if you go to bed late, you're basically setting up your next day to be mediocre. So your day doesn't start in the morning. Your day starts the night before.
It's true.
You got to think that way. You got to think my day starts the night before. So if you're going to bed late, you're starting your next day already half of you. So by the end of the year, we want to get you to a point where you have 8 to 9 hours of sleep. If you're getting less than that right now we want to use January 1st to January 7th as your baseline week of gathering data. So the first week, what we're going to do for sleep is just track your sleep. That's your first goal. So in your month goal, I'm going to track my sleep. I'm going to see how much sleep I get. And in week 2, maybe week 3, maybe you add another goal of I'm going to go to bed 5 minutes earlier than I normally do. So you start off super, super small. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm already writing stuff down. This thing's practically done.
So with sleep habits, sleep protocol, super important. I think that's number one priority, number one fundamental. Because if you get good sleep, you feel the best the next day.
That's true.
If you don't sleep well, you're not going to eat well the next day. You're not going to do your workouts as hard or even at all sometimes.
You're cheating yourself.
Yeah, you're not going to make your best decisions at work. You're also not going to just be in a good mood. You're going to be treating people poorly.
Yeah. You definitely don't have the energy to do everything you want to get done.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just sitting there thinking, when am I going to take a nap? Yeah. As soon as this person's done, I'm going to take a nap. Yeah. I hope this person would finish talking.
Cinnamon is sleep deprived most of the time.
I mean, I'm a tall human, and I feel like I got that way because I sleep so much.
It's true. When she's not at work, she is a little sleeping.
I'm a napper.
What does koalas sleep all day? What were those things we saw?
Oh, I would love that. What if that was your life? You just got in the trees with the little fuzzy koalas.
Yeah, they sleep like 23 out of 24 hours a day. Cinnamon would love that.
Oh, that would be so good.
Okay, so month goal is sleep. We're going to track sleep. That's our first month's goal. Over the year, you're going to get better at sleeping, but for the first month, you just want to track it. Get more aware of what you're doing in your sleep. The fundamental number 2 is movement. For your first week and first month, you want to just track your movement. I know the science shows that if you are walking 5,500 steps a day, you will not feel as anxious or depressed as you could. People who, in the United States, the average American walks 4,700 steps a day. That's, 700 less steps than you need to get, which is why we have a problem with anxiety and depression in our country. If you move your body, what you're doing is you're pushing out adrenaline and cortisol that you're gathering throughout the day. When you're watching the news, you're giving your body cortisol. When you're listening to family and friends talk about drama, when you're thinking about anxious thoughts, you're giving yourself cortisol. Cortisol breaks the body down. It's supposed to put you into action, but if you're just sitting all day in it, it's going to make you feel more fatigued. It's going to make your body break down the muscle, and you're not going to be able to do as good of workouts. But if you move, you're going to push that stuff through the body better. That's why working out is really good. And moving and walking is really good. That's why they say sitting is the new cancer. It really does break the body down by sitting, because you're not getting your cortisol moved through your body. So what you want to aim for in the first month at least is track your movement. Are you getting 5,500 steps a day? If you're not, then you need to aim for 5,500 steps every day in January. That's your first goal. If you have problems walking, like mobility issues, you can still move your body enough throughout the day to equal 5,500 steps a day. I would say it equals to about 45 minutes of like light walking a day. So if you're immobile and you can't walk, I don't know, what could you do? You could crawl, you can move your arms, you can wiggle around in your chair, do some chair aerobics. But there should be no reason why you should just sit sedentary all day. You've got to move that stuff through your body.
Yeah, and if you are sedentary, anything that you do that's not sedentary is an improvement.
Yeah.
So any change is going to be on the road to where you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I think about it.
Yeah. And I have a new goal of my push-up challenge. So that's part of my movement goal is my push-ups. And I incrementally add 1 push-up a week. Cinnamon has decided to jump on this with me. I'm on week 50, actually 51 starting today, because this is week 51 of 2021. Next week will be 52. And I aimed for 52 push-ups a day by the end of this year, and I'm doing it. And Cinnamon's just jumped right on board.
Just jumped on board.
And she likes it. But I've been doing knee push-ups all year, to be honest. Knee push-ups, I mean, you still get a good workout. I still have muscles coming in my abs. I still have muscles coming up here.
Your chest and triceps.
Yeah. And I believe now I can do push-ups. So my goal next year is I'm going to do 52 push-ups a day, because I know now I can do them. But week 1, I'm going to do 1 regular push-up on my feet. And then the rest I'll do knee push-ups. And then week 2, I'll do 2 on my feet. And then 50 on my knees. Hopefully by the end of the year, I'll do 52 whole push-ups, regular push-ups. That's the goal.
I'm tired.
I know. That's my goal. But you can figure out how you want to do it. If you want to start off with the regular push-up challenge of just doing 1 a day for the first week, 2 a day for the second week, 3 a day the third week. It is a really cool, small incremental growth that you can write in your planner every week.
And you can make changes. Mm-hmm. If like you get overwhelmed by something, it's not as easy. Because I feel like that's what you sort of did, was you were like, okay, I'm going to do a push-up challenge. And you were like, it's too hard on my joints or whatever. So you went to knee push-ups and
yep.
Yeah.
Especially after I broke my hand. I couldn't. It was too hard.
That was a bummer.
Yeah. So baseline month, your January month is baseline month. Track your movement. See if you're getting 5,500 steps a day. Get a Fitbit. Make sure that or Apple Watch, whatever. Make sure you just are aware of what your body's going through. If you're not aware of what you're doing, that's the number 1 problem. You need to be more aware. I think that's what this planner does, is it makes you more aware. It makes you focus and look at, where do I need to improve? What do I want to focus on? And your brain likes redundancy. It likes looking at things over and over and over again, because it creates these neural pathways that are going to help you get better and better at these behavioral changes. So we've done move and sleep fundamentals.
Yeah.
And the third one, the basic one, is eat. And you can go to a nutritionist. I'm not a nutritionist, but I definitely have focused on my nutrition ever since I got diagnosed with MS. I try to stick to paleo. That's my number 1 nutrition goal, is to stick to paleo. So no gluten. I used to be no dairy and no sugar, but I've kind of eased up on the dairy because I don't find anything really doing to my body. It is an inflammatory thing, but I've eased up on it. I've eaten more dairy than usual. Maybe I'll make that 2022 goal, is lower the dairy. Why are you looking at me like that?
Because the things that you do affect me. So I'm thinking about all the things that have dairy that I love, and you're talking about.
You can make your own goals.
I know.
We're not the same person.
But You don't go to the store and get ice cream for either of us.
I get dairy-free ice cream.
Just keep that in mind.
Yes. Okay, so you want to, this is all to optimize your brain. The brain loves leafy vegetables and colorful vegetables, and it loves nutritious things. It doesn't like processed things. It doesn't like things that are going to inflame it or make the cells inflamed. So knowing what the brain likes, you want to eat those things. I would start with, in January, drink more water. The body is, what, 80%, 70% water?
Sure, yeah.
And we don't drink enough water. Cinnamon knows this. She needs more water. Poor thing, got a kidney stone. Most pain you've ever been in.
Put it all out there today, huh?
Well, I think kidney stones need to be talked about. More water.
You know what else they say about kidney stones? What? More water and less protein.
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah.
I think actually it's a better balance, more green leafy veggies, fiber, gluten.
Yeah.
With your protein. Yeah. I said gluten, you said yeah, so.
Well, no, like, you can have whole wheat, whole grains.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyways, for January, month of January, I would make a goal to drink more water. Even if it's just 1 cup a day, more water. Like, in the morning, I've over the last year, I've added, just have, the first thing I have put in my body in the day is drink a glass of water. Before I have my coffee, before I have my breakfast, I've just gotten in the habit of having the first thing go through is water. And then I start my day off a little more hydrated. Throughout the day, you want to pay attention to more water and eat better. So if you want, you want to share what you want to make your January goal for eating? Like, do you want to... Oh,
I should write that down, huh?
Yes.
I stopped after the track your sleep and the movement thing.
I'm glad you're here with me.
I'm exhausted from all this tracking. I'm gonna say less sweets.
How about more water?
Oh, I feel like I've already done that, but I'm gonna put that down so I have more stuff to put down.
More water for you.
What do they say? Like 2.5 quarts? That's a weird measurement.
I think there's a measurement for your height and weight. You should drink enough water for your height and weight.
That means if you're taller, you have to drink more
water. Oh, no. It's not just 8 cups for you.
Okay, more water.
More water. Okay, and the other thing you said is less sweets.
Well, let's focus on the more water, because that was really something that you felt passionate about. So we can stick there.
I'm not taking away your sweets. You are. But I do want to say something about that, because people do that a lot. They'll say, I'm going to eat less something. The first thing you have to do before you eat less of something is just even be aware of what you're eating.
Track my sweets.
Track your sweets. So
this is the best planner everywhere.
Track your sweets. Like, if you're having, 4 sweets a day, track them. And then the other thing is not being judgmental over it. People tend to place blame and shame on themselves when they see that they're doing too much or too little of something. And when they do that, then you're building up cortisol inside of your body. Shame and blame is just not good for you. You're going to sit in shame and you're going to hide it maybe, or do it more where people can't see it, or maybe even not, you're lying to yourself.
Or beat yourself up about it.
Beating yourself up. Your confidence and your self-esteem goes down. So when you're more aware of something, make sure that you're not judging it after you become aware of it. Just look at it like data. Scientists look at data and they don't judge it. They're just like, oh, that's data. Look at it and then go, okay, is this serving me or is this not serving me? And then you can adjust from there. If you're looking at your sweets intake and you're like, oh, that's 4 sweets a day. Is that serving me?
I mean, how big are the sweets? Let's be serious.
Yeah, you can judge it on your own. If you feel like it's not affecting you in any way negatively, then you can keep doing that. But you need to just be aware of it and not judge it, because it doesn't help you to judge it.
Okay.
All right, so she has eat, sleep, move, goals. And then lastly, I would just put, there's 6 actual fundamentals: breathe, be present, and celebrate. Those other 3. But for now, I would just add celebrate. Celebrate is a really important goal to have, because what you're doing is you're giving yourself a little dopamine kick and a little bit of oxytocin, that self-love, and you're giving yourself some serotonin. When you celebrate something, big or small, you're getting those yummy hormones, and your brain will want to do that behavior more. So if you track your sweets or you drink more water, just really quick, just give yourself a little acknowledgement, like, yes,
I tracked it.
Did it. Just a little
You're
Hell yeah.
celebrating that you tracked it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. You're not celebrating the data. You're celebrating that you tracked it.
If your goal is to track it, then that's what you celebrate. And then if you celebrate it, then you're going to get those yummy hormones, and your brain is going to want to do that more because it's going to crave that dopamine. So celebration is a huge part of this planner. You'll see in the weekly thing, it'll say what were your wins every week, and you have to think about what your wins are. It's a moment of reflection of celebration.
So you go through your goals of all the tracking you're doing, and at the end you get to the celebrate thing, and you're like, I'm gonna go back and celebrate that I actually tracked all that stuff.
You can. You could do it then, or you could do it every day.
Oh, okay.
All right, so those are your goals for now. Those are, just keep it simple. In January, keep it simple. I would also write for your first month's goal is touch your planner every day. I don't think you have to write in it every day, but at least touch it. If you touch it, it means you're thinking about it. And you want to start making that a habit to think about your planner. All right, so we're getting into the weeks. So we turn our pages.
Talk about the things I will do to make this month great.
We will do that next time.
Okay.
But we're just setting up the goals for now. What time do we have? Oh, we have 15 minutes. All right. Monthly review, we'll do that another time.
Okay.
So on your week, this is the most important thing. Week 1, you want to set up your habits. This is the habits section. It has a little area where you write your habits, and then it has Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday check marks. The habits section is the number one most important part of this book. If you don't do anything else in this book but this habit section, you're going to be so much better by the end of the year. So what I would ask you to do is those same goals that you had in your month, write them in your habits. So if you wrote drink 1 glass of water, that's a habit. If you write track your
water,
sugar intake, or water.
I wrote more water, but you're right. We should track the water before we add the water.
That's true.
Yes. Okay.
Track water.
Track water.
So track water is one habit.
Celebrate tracking water.
You can definitely put one of your habits is touch your planner. You want to do that every day. Another one is track your movement. So see how many steps you have every day in your first week. Another one is sleep. Track your sleep. So remember, we're not really necessarily changing anything in your first week. We're just seeing what the data is and getting more aware of what the data says. After that, you can start making little incremental changes and growth. So you have, I usually put in my habit section, eat, sleep, move goal, my planner, touch my planner every day, and some sort of like, I don't know, like play pickleball, like a fun thing or something like that.
Is that hard for you to get that
in?
in?
So reason why this habit section is so awesome is because you want to, by the end of the week, set yourself up so that you're going to check off every single little bubble. I did it, I did it, I did it, I did it, I did it. And let's say, so this is another concept that I like to share. Prepay and repay. Let's say that you missed a day. There should be no reason why you should miss 2 days, because these are such small goals that we're setting that there should be no reason why you should miss 2 days. So let's just give yourself that compassion that you can miss a day. You have this concept called prepay and repay. If I know tomorrow I'm traveling and I cannot, do my 5,500 steps that I need to do, then the day before I can prepay it. So I do 10,000 steps the day before, or maybe even 7,000 steps the day before, and then I repay the last part the day after. So that every single day I feel no shame. I can check it off. No problem. I did it. I know internally, I'm building confidence knowing that I did it because I prepaid and repaid it. Same thing with water. Let's say you miss a day and you missed your water. No problem. No shame. No blame. You have compassion. I just forgot, but I definitely want to give myself the celebration on my habits. What do? Drink
more.
2 cups of water the next day. You repay it. Or you know that tomorrow you're going to be, fasting or not drinking. Drink 2 cups of water the day before.
Is that how the fasting works?
I
You don't drink water either.
I don't know.
I think that's called starvation.
Yeah.
It's called being on a desert island.
Same with sleep. If you didn't get your sleep in, you can sleep a little more the day before, or maybe even take a nap, and you check it off so there's no shame or blame. Your brain is still feeling as good as it could feel. Because these days are going to come that you're not going to be able to do your habits. You want to plan for that. So that's why the prepay thing is really great, because you will have no reason why you can't do those things. Does that make sense? Somebody calling. All right.
It was me.
All right. So that's your habits section. That is the most important thing.
What is the skills? How's that different than habits?
Skills? Where's
This
that?
is habits and skills.
Oh, it's the same thing. Like you could pick a skill, like at work, you want to work on something at work.
Oh, okay.
Skill. So if you want to add a habit at work, you want to, I don't know, check your schedule more often or
Sure.
talk to the guys more often.
That's exhausting.
For me, I want to do more marketing, so I'd make that a habit at work.
Okay.
All right. Then you have the bottom 3 sections down here. So all this stuff you can do if you want, but you do not have to in your first month at least, or even your first year. But it is great stuff. I'm not going to take away. I do it because I've done this is my 4th year. I do all of this stuff every Sunday. So at the end of the week, this is what I would ask you to do. You're getting in the habit of doing your habits here. You're checking those off. Every single one should be checked off. If it's not, that means your goals are too big. Dumb them down the next week.
So this is a weekly thing, but you come in here.
Yep, this is the week. So every Sunday.
Okay, I see.
Every Sunday.
There's no daily.
No, there's no daily.
Copy that.
I pick Sundays because it starts on Mondays. I pick Sundays as set up my week planner. And I come in here and I write all my habits and my goals and I reflect on the week before. I celebrate my wins and I figure out how I'm going to improve the next week. So those are the other 2 I want to go over. At the bottom of this week, so really Cinnamon has, what do you have? Touch planner, track your movement, track your sleep, and celebrate.
And track the sweets.
And water. 1 cup of water. Oh yeah,
how did that get off of there?
You need more water. Okay, so she's going to check off those things every day. And she's going to try to celebrate those things every day. Then at the end of the week on Sunday, what she's going to do at the bottom here is, it says this week's wins. And on Sunday, she's going to reflect on some wins this week. So maybe it doesn't have to be, I did my habits. It could be something like, oh, I got a promotion at work. I don't know. Or
randomly, I got a promotion at work.
I got 3 naps in this week. Like, you're just thinking about something positive that happened this week. And there's three parts to it. I remember one day this week, one of my wins was I washed the dogs. And I was like,
that's a win for everyone.
It's a win. And the time it was a big win because we had wanted to do it for a long time.
And
in comparison to other wins I've had, it's not a huge win. But in that week particularly, I had to think about that as being a win.
That was a big win. Don't take that away from yourself.
Yeah.
You did a lot of good for a lot of people, including those dogs.
Stinky ass dogs. So this is a moment of reflection to give yourself that dopamine hit, that celebration every week. It keeps you into planning because it forces you to have to look at your wins rather than being like, oh, I suck and I didn't do my things. It's forcing you to look at why you're doing great. So I love that section. Make sure you do that section. And then the other section that's really important over here, just for time's sake, is how am I going to improve next week? Generally, what I'll do is I'll look at what did I struggle at in my habits. And then I will reflect on that. Like, well, doing my water was a little difficult. So next week I'm going to focus on water. That's my number 1 goal next week is focusing on water.
So you put that in your lessons learned. I struggle with water. Mm-hmm. And then how I'll improve is.
Yeah. And it's not anything, it's not brain science here. It's literally just forcing your brain to reflect on something that maybe you might overlook because you're too busy or too lazy or you're too exhausted from the week. That's all this planner is doing is forcing you to reflect on things and taking a moment so that you can make that your intention for the next week. That's it.
Okay.
So, and then in here, did you notice that in the life balance, it has those little sections that I told you, health and fitness, family, friends, romance and relationship, fun and recreation, personal development, and spiritual. In there, I like to put little goals like we tend to have date night on Fridays. So I'll put, in my romance relationship, I'll put date night Friday if it's my turn. If it's, something else, maybe focus on sending a text or so, every day, reflecting on 20-second hug is another one. Family and friends. If I haven't talked to somebody, I'll make that my intention this week. I'll say, I want to call my friend.
Oh, that's so good. I know you're not a phone person.
I'm not.
That's so good.
So I try to make an intention in those areas. For fun and recreation, a lot of people don't have fun and recreation. They just sit and watch Netflix, or maybe that is their fun and recreation. But forcing yourself to think about what else is fun for me? What else can I do to have fun? Because people tend to just work and go home and relax. So what can you do for more fun? Health and fitness. We're already focusing on health and fitness because of Eat, Sleep, Move. and getting your energy right for 2022. But you can make individual health and fitness goals. So focus on drinking more water or doing your push-up challenge or walking more, whatever you want to focus on there.
It's interesting. It says life balance to-do list, and there's no work stuff on there.
Yeah, because it has in the monthly review, which it has a monthly review every month. Afterwards, there's a monthly review. And I don't know if you guys can see this little wheel here. My favorite part of this book is you can fill in the wheel from 1 to 10 in each area. Okay. And you can decide, how was this month? Was I at a 10 finance-wise, or was I at a 5 finance-wise? And it forces you to reflect on putting a number to all of those areas. And that is probably what's made me better and better this last year, is looking at the wheel and then having to go, okay, how can I make next month a 10? So like this month for December, people are spending a lot of money. So finance-wise, I think maybe not a 10 unless you kept to your budget.
I mean, I expanded the budget this month.
So the next month, how can you make finances be a 10? You can stick to your budget, right?
Yeah. You don't have a Christmas in January. And things will be better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I've never had a month where all of my areas of life are at a 10. There's never a time. And some people have a hard time even giving themselves a 10. They're really hard on themselves. But I do love that monthly review section. It helps set up the goals for the next month. I do that on the fourth Sunday of every month. I sit down and I reflect on my week, and then I do my monthly review, and I set up my new month for the next month.
This is very spiritual, the way that you stick to this.
That is so funny, because there's a section in here that asks you what, 1 to 10, how were you in spiritual section this month? And I always have it be really low.
I feel like because you were raised with a very religious background, that spirituality is probably something different for you than for I mean, it's different for everybody, obviously, but for you might think spirituality aligns more with religiousness.
Yeah, maybe.
And I don't view it that way, so I feel like
some people have told me, just think of what's good for your soul. And I could see how this planner is good for your soul.
Yeah, you are like literally feeding your insides by using this so regularly. Yeah. I'm excited about.
Yeah, it has a section that says every week you have to figure out 3 things you're excited about, which is really hard. I've done that section, and it's really hard to come up with things you're excited about. Every week. Like sometimes, I remember sometimes I'd be like sick one week, and the next week I would literally write, I'm excited that I can breathe. It's hard.
Yeah, that's a great, I mean, if you could be excited about something like that regularly, you're literally living in a grateful space. Mm-hmm. Because there really is a ton of things to be grateful for, but first world problems, we don't consider somebody else mowing your lawn is not amazing for you.
Yeah.
Well, it's just what happens.
It has been nice. We got a mower this year.
Yeah.
I used to do the mowing, and it saved me so much time.
So many
I used to love doing it, but now I'm like, it's so nice. It's just done. Anyways, that's setting up the planner this year. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you for getting me excited about this.
Yeah, we're
eager to go.
We will update you I'll update you more likely unless someone wants to join again sometime. But I like to set up every week on Sundays and every month on Sundays. So if you're interested, I will try to get on here and hold you accountable on Sundays. Maybe you can join me in having a moment of reflection and doing your planning.
Every Sunday?
Every Sunday.
That's beautiful. Because you're doing it anyways, right?
Yeah, maybe that should be my 2022 goal.
Yeah. Put it down before you forget.
I will forget. All right, those of you who have stuck around this whole time, thank you so much for joining.
And enjoy your Fox planners.
Yeah, happy 2022.
Yes.
And happy holidays, those of you who are celebrating.
Yeah, I can't believe Christmas is in less than a week.
We did not put any lights up at all. Even today we were like, should we put them up? And both of us go, they have to take them down.
Michelle was telling me on Friday, she's like, Ash, do we even need to put up lights? And I'm like, of course we need to put up lights. And then I went to work yesterday and came back today, and I'm like, Christmas is in this week.
It's this week. It's
Yeah.
in 6 days.
So I could see why you were like, do we really need to put them out?
The problem is we got a real tree this year, which means we have to put the lights in the tree. Our fake tree has it in there already. We just plug it in and it's
I
on.
know. I love the way a new tree smells, though.
I know.
But I hate killing them.
Yeah,
And I'd rather not kill them than have the new tree smell.
it's true.
But I do linger a lot. Like at Trader Joe's, they have fresh wreaths and stuff outside, and I just hang out there for a while before I go inside.
Yeah.
And inhaling everything. It's so good.
It's our problems.
I know.
Here you go, world.
Back to the planner.
Normal people. Normal problems. All right.
All right, enjoy your erasable pens and your planners.
That's right. All right. I'll see y'all later. Thanks for joining.